You're very, very fortunate today to have Nia Pipes. I always want you to be somebody else. So Nia Pipes and Val Matta, who are the resident experts for Handshake and CareerShift, respectfully. Yes. Okay. We are going to start with Nia because she's got a hard stop at 3:30. So Nia's going to talk about Handshake, everything you need to know and how best to use it. And then Val's going to talk about CareerShift. And I will tell you that my class didn't even know about CareerShift. So you're probably going to get a lot more questions, Val. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Nia. I think you are going to be able to share your screen, and Missy's going to be able to help you with that. I'm going to mute myself, but we're going to be able to hear all of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I am going to share my screen. And can someone just confirm if you all can see it? Yep. Fantastic. So really excited to spend the next 30 minutes with you all. I'm going to be doing a brief overview of what Handshake is, how it can help you discover
something else.
Oh, sorry. Did somebody?
Sorry, everyone. We're here. Apologies.
Okay. Awesome. Nice to meet you. And so, yeah, going to cover how it can help you discover and connect to really great career opportunities, as well as I'm going to share some tips and tricks for success. So I am Nia Pipes. I'm a relationship manager on the education success team here at Handshake. And I work primarily with our colleges and universities and provide them strategic guidance on how their career centers can best leverage our platform. So that way they can continue to help you all secure opportunities that you really, really want. So quick story about Handshake's founding. The vision for Handshake primarily came from college students who experienced for themselves that while talent is everywhere, opportunity is not. So our CEO, Garrett Lord, went to a really small university in Northern Michigan in the Upper Peninsula, and they were pretty far away from the nearest airport. So back in the day, pretty much all recruiting by employers was done on campus, and no one was planning to go to their very small school in Northern Michigan. So Garrett, along with his co-founders, had a vision that every job seeker, regardless of the college you may have went to or who your parents know, should have access to really great opportunities. And that's where Handshake comes in. So it really serves as a bridge between a huge network of employers and institutions across the country, all for the purpose of really trying to help early career seekers explore and build the careers that they want. So by connecting to employers or connecting employers to thousands of institutions across the country and making it really seamless for them to post jobs, you're able to find and connect with great candidates from all over. And so we really seek to ensure that all have access to the great opportunities, because again, it should not matter where you went to school or who you know or who your parents know. So that's pretty nice. Handshake is the #1 way for college students to find jobs. This is one of the key distinctions between Handshake and a LinkedIn, because oftentimes people try to compare them, and I would say there really is no comparison. Handshake is designed specifically for folks who are looking to either just get started in their careers or who are looking to make a pivot to a new industry. So we do not expect you to have a huge network of connections or really to have even previous experience in a field. Our roles and opportunities focus not on luck or connections or having experience required. We're not expecting you to have all that when you come onto Handshake. So just want to point that out. So there's a lot that you can do on Handshake. Why should you use it? So first, it's a job board. So you can plug in your criteria to let us know what you're looking for. And you will end up finding a list of roles that match that criteria. And so once you start saving jobs that you think are a good fit for you, that tells us, it helps us be able to recommend more jobs that are similar to the ones that you've expressed interest in. It also allows you to get discovered. So employers are going to use things like your school, your location, interests, skills to search for and connect with you on the platform and share open roles that they think you might be a good fit for, as well as maybe invite you to upcoming events as well. You are also able to get connected on Handshake, so you can schedule live info chats with employers, and you may see the opportunity to do so on specific job postings. And then lastly, you're able to get expert help. So there is the Career Services homepage, which I'll show you kind of quickly at the end of where you can get connected to your Career Services staff, be able to find curated employers, as well as know that your Career Services staff is here to help you out as you get ready to go either on your job search, or if you're still thinking about what it is you want to do, Handshake can help them help you figure that out too. So we're going to go into a little bit more depth about each of the ways that you can use Handshake. So get hired. How can Handshake help you get hired? We have over 750,000 employers on the platform. That is a lot, from all different industries, locations, sizes, and that includes also 100% of the Fortune 500 companies. And Handshake is increasingly becoming known as the #1 place employers go to find early career talent. So that's meaning if it's a first job or first job within a new industry. And so employers can use things like your school, your major, skills, interests to search for students that match what they're looking for, and then be able to proactively reach out to you and invite you to connect, attend an event, or apply for an open role. And this actually happens a lot more than you would think. About 80% of students with a completed profile receive a DM from an employer, and we have countless examples of those DMs then turning into actual internships or jobs. So the volume of employers that we have means incredible coverage across career interests. And so let's talk about some ways that you're able to get discovered. So for those of you who haven't started, these are some things that you'll want to kick off with in terms of building out your Handshake profile. So you'll want to first make sure that you upload your resume. That's going to be super important. We have like a resume wizard that will pull in like career experience, education, things like that. So you don't have to necessarily fill all those fields out. You'll also want to make sure that you fill out your job preferences. As I mentioned, those are things that employers are going to look at when they're trying to find students for opportunities. So you'll want to make sure that you go through and set those up. You'll also want to make sure that you add experience to your profile, maybe special projects that you've worked on. And then lastly, you will want to add skills. And so the 3 must-haves that you should have on your Handshake profile are job type, location, and job roles. So first, make sure you complete your profile and get it as close to 100% completion as possible. 80% of students, as I mentioned, with these 3 must-haves will more than likely receive a DM from an employer, which is really nice. So job type, ultimately, do you want it to be, are you looking for full-time opportunities, part-time? Are you maybe looking for internships? Location. So are you looking to maybe stay in the area you're currently located? Would you be open to remote or moving to another part of the country? And then job roles. So are you maybe looking to do like marketing work, or as you can see here, a data analyst, an admin assistant? You can sort of fill in all of that on your profile, and then that's going to help make sure that employers are able to find you in their list of qualified candidates and reach out to you. So I also mentioned that you'll want to make sure that you provide skills. So these are just some kind of tips to help you when it comes to listing those skills on your profile. So 1, you'll want to make sure you identify the skills needed in your industry. If you are going into perhaps software engineering or public administration, do some research and see what are some of the common skills that are often needed for these types of roles or industries, and be sure if you have that, skill set that you're reflecting that on your Handshake profile. The other thing is keep it specific. So rather than saying that you're skilled in communication, maybe perhaps you say you are skilled in blog writing, or if you're really good at organizing things, perhaps you say that you're skilled in project management. So rather than keeping the skills very sort of high level, let's try and drill in a little bit more. Also, skip the soft skills on your skills list. They are obviously very, very important, but these are things that employers are probably going to assume that you already have. So you will probably want to instead just focus on hard skills on your profile. And they're more ideal because they can actually be defined and measured. The other thing that you'll want to do is to make sure that you remove any obvious or irrelevant skills. I think it's pretty common for people to put things such as like Microsoft Office or G Suite as skills that they have, but these are also kind of expected from employers that you would know how to use those types of software. So instead, you probably don't want to focus on adding them. And again, focus on skills that are a little bit more unique to what you're able to do. Also, be honest. If you say that you are proficient in Spanish, then you should be proficient in Spanish, because there is a good chance that when you're interviewing or speaking with employers, they're going to ask you about these things, and they can suss out if you're not telling the truth. So if you are not able to fluently speak Spanish, don't put that. If you put Excel as a skill that you have, but you're not able to create macros, maybe you don't want to put Excel, because there's still some things that you could learn about it. So again, just be honest about the skills that you're listing. And then also keep it up to date. So as you're starting to gain new skills, picking up new things, add them to your profile. And it's really easy in order to do so on Handshake. So those are just some tips that I have for you on leveraging skills that you might have. Another nice thing is that Handshake is personalized for you. So as you update your profile with those interests, job roles, industries, locations, Handshake is going to start to curate a personalized homepage for you. And if you have it enabled in your notifications, you'll be able to receive email summaries with recommendations. And if you have the mobile app downloaded, you can elect to receive push notifications so that you'll be the first to know when a top employer that you're following posts a new job or event along those lines. And so when it comes to getting connected, you're able to message employers. And so some tips for messaging an employer on the platform: you will want to make sure that you're starting off with a friendly opening. Handshake is really built to help you be able to create connections with one another and with employers. And so you will want to make sure that you're reaching out to employers, that you are being really opening, welcoming to them, and let them know that you've done your research as well. So tell them a little bit about yourself. This is not, about what your favorite color is or your favorite food. It's more about yourself professionally. I am so sorry. I think someone is not mute. Oh, okay. There we go. Awesome. So you'll want to tell them a little bit about yourself professionally, what makes you interested in the role, what is some of your background that led you to want to reach out to them. You really just want to make sure you put your best foot forward. And then you'll also want to make sure when you're messaging employers that you're asking a few questions about the role in the company. Again, make sure you do your research, understand what the role is. Perhaps the individual that you're messaging, make sure you know a little bit about them, so that way the employer can tell that you've done your homework. And so how you are able to message is you can either do so through the employer's profile directly, or on specific job postings, you might see recruiters who says that they're open to virtual info chats. If you'd like to learn more about what it's like to work at their company and what they would be looking for that role that they're hiring for. You also can sign up for virtual info chats. And again, you might notice this on job postings directly. And so these are like 15-minute one-on-one chats with an employer to learn more about either a specific role or just the company in general. And so some tips that you have here are you can schedule the chat via the find the time button. So if that's available on a job posting, you'll see that and be able to leverage it. Also, make sure you're dressed for the part. This is a virtual chat. While it may seem like it's a little bit lower stakes, every time that you're getting in front of an employer or connecting with them, again, you really want to put your best foot forward. So make sure, at least from the top up, you look presentable. And then also make sure you come ready with a pre-prepared list of Q&A. So you really want to do your research. You really want to make sure you know what the company's about, what the role's about. So that way, when it comes time for you to have this conversation, you can really help yourself stand out. So those are just some tips for when you do start to have these virtual info chats, things that you can do to really make sure that you are shining when you get a chance to talk to employers. So attending an event. This is a really great way to stand out to recruiters because it gives you a chance to learn more about their companies. So you can take a look in Handshake. You can see what events interest you. Career fairs are also a really awesome way to meet in groups and one-on-one with employers. And so there are some tips. Make sure that you're meeting with employers at events to learn more about the roles that you're interested in. Kind of keep in mind that just because you speak with an employer, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to net in a job or an internship, but that is the beauty of networking and building those relationships, because while maybe there's not an active opportunity right now, if you build that rapport with employers and those connections, that could lead to really great things down the line. The other is be sure you're attending career fairs, whether that is in person or virtually. Another great opportunity to get in front of employers. And then also be sure to check out events that are created specifically by your career center that are designed to help your job search. And in all of these different ways that you might interface with employers, always be sure to follow up after meetings with a really sort of nice but brief thank you note to just kind of say thank you so much for your time. Maybe mention something that you learned from that interaction. And, again, may not net anything immediately in that moment, but people remember small things like that. And it's definitely worth the time to do so if you can. So lastly is getting expert help. So your career services homepage is essentially a hub that is able to connect you with your career services office. So you're able to do things like schedule appointments, look over resources that they might have, take a look at curated employers that are specifically picked by your career services office. So there's a lot of different things that your office is here to help you with. So please, please, please leverage them. And there's also a section which I'll show you in demo that can show you employers that have been curated by career services. So basically this is employers that maybe are close to campus, or they are popular with alumni. These employers can fall into a lot of different buckets. So if those are listed, you can see them on your side. And then the other thing I wanted to call out is we have a skills page that you can leverage. So the Skills for Students page is really meant to give you the opportunity to explore job roles and ways to build in-demand skills that are either free or low cost with reputable learning programs. So you might have received an email about this to check it out, or in the future, you may see this coming up as a recommendation to check out. But this is brand new. We're still sort of iterating on this. And these skill building opportunities are a really great way for you to stand out in your job search process. So I know we're getting a little bit close to time here. And so to kind of help you get started, if you haven't already, download the app. It is a really great resource. You don't have to log in on desktop to use Handshake. You can take advantage of the mobile app, and it's really robust, and it can do a lot of the things that you can do on our desktop site. So just wanted to kind of make sure to point that out. If you don't have it, we have it available on the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. And that is all that I have in terms of the presentation, but just want to show you what things sort of look like in app. And so currently I'm signed into my demo account, but when you sign into Handshake, you are taken to your profile. I was talking about this a little bit earlier. This is essentially what an employer can look at to learn more about you. You're able to upload a resume, and that upload will start to fill in some of these sections here. But specifically, as I mentioned, your interests, you'll definitely want to come and fill this information out. So you can say if you're currently looking for a job, again, is there specific locations you're interested in, roles, industries? So definitely be sure, if you haven't taken the chance to come to this page and start to fill everything out, you do. The other thing that I want to point out is you can look for jobs, events, and employers on Handshake. So we have a lot of really great filters here for you to be able to leverage to search for opportunities that you might be into. Same for events. You're able to search for events that employers are having, as well as your specific career center is. And then if you just maybe want to do a little bit more research in general about employers you might want to follow or learn more about, you can come to the employers tab and do so. And if you end up following an employer, you just click this little star button. And so as those employers post new jobs or post new events that they're going to be hosting, you'll get notified of those via notifications. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the Career Center page. So as I mentioned, this is like a central hub that you can come to do everything sort of aligned with your career center. So if they're hosting appointments, you can get to this page to be able to schedule one. If there are resources, you can take a look here as well. I also mentioned that list of curated employers. Employers are put into these collections by career services. And this is done based on using their extensive knowledge and strategy and years of working in CS to kind of put forth opportunities and employers that they think you all would be interested in. So as you can see here, specifically in mine, I have employers in a close to campus collection, popular with alumni, great for internships. The employers that I have in mind are not necessarily going to be the employers that you all have in yours, but definitely wanted to make sure to call attention to this. So that is all that I have. We have about 7-ish minutes for questions. Does anyone have any questions for me? Or Paige, I don't know if there's specifically a way you would like to go about me answering questions.
If anybody has questions, I would put them in the chat, and Missy's going to monitor the chat so we can answer them that way. But thank you. Like, I learned a couple of things today, so I'm really excited, and I'll be back in touch with you. But if you had to leave all of our students with one bit of advice about Handshake, because we're so busy, our classes are so overwhelming, we're working, our classes, we're on social media, our classes, what's one thing you would encourage every student that's participating on this call today to do with regards to Handshake?
I would say the thing that would probably net the most for you is to fill out your profile completely. I know that it seems really tedious to do so and like overwhelming to go through and fill out all of those sections, but lots of people are getting hired on Handshake, and the best way to boost your chances of doing so is completing that profile. So perhaps this weekend, maybe you take, block off 30 minutes to go in and do that. And then from that point on, it's just a matter of you keeping things updated, which is a lot easier than sort of filling it out initially. Because again, employers are looking at that. They are trying to see what are those students that we think are really qualified for opportunities. And they can only do that if you're putting forth a pretty complete view of yourself. So that would be my sort of biggest advice for you all.
Thank you. Nobody has any questions. Everybody is now an expert in Handshake.
I have a question.
Okay, Chris, really loud.
So I've been, I actually started on the Handshake platform last year with Paige over here. And I've been applying, and sometimes the companies don't get, like the ones that I apply for, sometimes the companies don't get back to me.
Or it just says pending from last year.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how companies transition?
That's a great question. So to be transparent, that's something that we're still trying to sort of get employers more in the habit of updating if they end up hiring for opportunities. So I don't have a great answer for that right now, other than it is something that our employer side of the house is working on to figure out what are ways that we can get employers to reflect jobs that they've hired for on Handshake. But in the event that you have applied for a role and maybe you had built the rapport with the recruiter and you're just kind of unsure where things went, there usually is a point of contact that you could reach out to via Handshake using messaging to like kind of follow up with them and see where things are. Great question. Any other questions?
So I have a question for the students that are on the Zoom, and just if you could put it in the chat. Have any of you actually taken advantage of the virtual chat? Jose, you've taken advantage of the, oh, interesting. Okay. Has any other student taken advantage of the virtual chat? That's a new thing for me. Okay. You've used it before. Okay. So a plug about Handshake. Silberman College of Business puts all of their events on Handshake. So now you'll all be familiar. And as much as you're checking your Instagram, I know you're going to be checking Handshake too. Okay. My personal recommendation for students has been to actually use the desktop when applying for jobs, so you can actually see the whole screen and not what you think you're reading, instead of doing it from the mobile app. But by all means, for getting messages, the mobile app works fine. Is that good advice?
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, even our mobile app is really robust. And so if you do find jobs, say you're on the go, and you find a job that you're interested in, or maybe you get one of our job recommendation emails, certainly feel free to use your phone to apply for it. For the most part, the information is going to be the same for the job posting. So I would say if you want to be able to see things in a sort of much more holistic view, definitely feel free to use the desktop, but the mobile app is really awesome for when you are on the go and you maybe just want to do some quick research on an employer or see what jobs they're posting, maybe check out some events. But yeah, I would say if you can use desktop, awesome. But I also know that more than likely, everyone probably usually has their phone on them versus perhaps a laptop sometimes or a tablet. So completely up to you. We just want you on Handshake, find those opportunities.
And my last question is there a preference using Handshake to use your personal email address or your student email address? I know you have to set up Handshake using your student email address, but is there a specific preference that Handshake recommends for best practices?
Great question. So when schools become Handshake partners and they do their student upload, it's typically always going to be with your institutional email address. However, you have the opportunity on your profile to be able to go and enter in additional email addresses. This will be really helpful also for once you graduate to still be able to get into Handshake. And if you would like to enter in for one of those additional email addresses for it to be a personal email, you're able to do so. And if it helps, I can just show you really quickly where you can do that. So I'm just going to reshare my screen. Give me a second here. So if you click on your name in the top right where your little initials are, and then go to my profile, specifically, oops, sorry, that was the wrong location. Settings, that's where we want to go. There, if you scroll down here, where is it? Emails, because I'm viewing as a student, I can't update that, but you should be able to see under this section where you can enter in what you want your preferred email address to be. So hope that answers the question. So yes, you'll have your student email be your email to kind of create your Handshake account because it's already sort of created for you. But if you'd like to add an additional email, which would be your personal one, you can do so as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope your next meeting is as interesting as this one.
Oh, no, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I am going to send this slide deck to Paige. So Paige, if you'd like to share this out, certainly feel free to. But thank you so much, everyone. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Nia.
All right, Val Matta. Val is my hero. I met Val, Pat Wire and I met Val at a conference for professional development last June, and we've stayed in touch. And so we've been talking to Val about presenting CareerShift to our students since last June. So 7 months later, here we are. 7 months later. So Val, without further ado, I will turn it over to you and thank you.
Oh, of course, of course. I'm delighted to be here. I'm going to share my screen with everybody. And can I get a thumbs up that you can see it now? Terrific. Thank you. All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Val Matta, and I happen to be the founder of CareerShift. I spent a couple years in kind of banging away and developing this product, and it's really been a joy to see people use it all around the country. And you are so fortunate that Fairleigh Dickinson University offers CareerShift to you, because the easiest way for me to say this is this way. Handshake is wonderful. It gives you employer postings coming in, and it helps you connect with your career center, and it helps you connect with individual recruiters. CareerShift is, and when I say that, I say it's kind of the coming in silo, right? All of the information is coming into you. On CareerShift, it's the proactive piece to the job search. And when we say proactive, we mean that's the going out silo. So that is your outreach, right? I just heard a question a couple moments ago referred to the fact that you're applying or sending messages and you really don't know what to do next, right? You're not getting an answer. You're kind of just floating out there, and CareerShift can help you with that as a prime example. So what I'm doing for you right now is sharing CareerShift, and I'm going to go through CareerShift soup to nuts right now for you live, so you can actually see what I'm talking about in action right away. So you're looking at the first screen that you're going to see when you create your CareerShift account. If you don't have a CareerShift account quite yet, then you need to rely on the Career Center and Paige and everybody at Silberman to make sure that you are getting a sign-up procedure down to create this account. Why do you need CareerShift? You need CareerShift because CareerShift will connect you with anything that's publicly posted in the United States as well as elsewhere in the world. It will also connect you with people. You will very quickly be able to find Fairleigh Dickinson University alumni, and you'll very quickly be able to find other contacts at the companies where you're applying for an open position. Why is that important, and how could it help you? Well, number one, sometimes you need to take advantage of a referral program. A lot of companies have referral programs. We have people inside of companies that are getting a benefit, whether it's a cash benefit or a benefit or some kind of thank you for bringing people in, right? So they naturally have this want to help people bring people in. So you have an opportunity to find those folks in CareerShift. You also have an opportunity to have a big picture of the types of companies in very specific industries or areas of interest for yourself that you may not get elsewhere. So let me show you what I mean. Every CareerShift account starts just like this. Every CareerShift page is divided into 3 areas. The far left-hand side is going to be your file folder system. It's what you're saving and organizing. How many people, by raising their hand to me right now, will say, oh my gosh, one of the hardest things of the job search is just remaining organized? Is that not something that's always on our mind? We've got stuff all over the place, right? So CareerShift will help you do that. That middle shaded dashboard area is your call to action. So if you're working in jobs, you click on the word jobs, and you have subcategories. If you're looking for people or conversing with people, you click on the word contacts and you have subcategories. And that's how this middle piece operates very easily. And then the right-hand side of your screen is always going to be the action part of your page. That's never going to change. So let me show you real time what this looks like. So let's say that you are in the College of Business and you are currently, go to jobs and you click on search. The right-hand side of your screen changed, right? That's the only thing that's ever going to change for you. The keyword box is required. Let's say that you're interested in the area of marketing. I'm going to check all these keywords. I want to highlight my search results for all of those keywords. I opened up search by area, and I'm going to open up advanced search. Now, as I previously stated, you can search in the United States, but you can also search overseas, Europe, India, Russia, wherever you're thinking that you might like to go. So my point is that it's not just about full-time jobs, right? It's about building our resume. It's about building our experiential activities, internships, anything we can do to help build our experience portion on our resumes is really important, right? So you can look for those kinds of things on CareerShift as well. You can further filter by state and province, city and metro. You can even do radiuses of zip codes, which really comes in handy, particularly where you are, right? We're in the metro, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. You can set a setting so you can cross over to other states, which is really, helpful for you. You can further filter for types of positions. You can filter by salary estimate features, your experience level, how long ago something was posted. Really important for you to know, the oldest job posting you'll find on CareerShift is 30 days. We're extremely current because we know applicant pools are put together super fast in today's, talent pool status. You can further filter by where they came from. Maybe you just want to go to employer websites. Maybe you just want to see it all. And you can sort by relevance of your keyword and or by date. I tend to like date because I like to see the newest of the new right up on top. And you can further filter for H-1B visa sponsorships as well if you have international needs or you need work visa. So if I click the search button, this is how fast your search results are going to populate. They're super easy on the eye. The title itself is a live dynamic link that will open it up from its original destination. You can drag and drop it over to your folder system. You can click save for later and you can save it into an individual folder that you create, or you can create a new folder. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to add it into my FDU folder. I'm going to click the save button, and anything you save in CareerShift is going to be verified with a green banner at the base of your screen. So you know you got it, right? Now, when you save a job, this is what a saved job details card looks like. So this is a job I had saved previously. This is a live dynamic link that goes back to the job posting itself. I can rate it. I can move it through my process. I can move it, edit, delete it, locate the job with a Google map. I can share it and push this out to others. Maybe it's not for you, but your roommate would love this, or somebody else that's a cohort in your class, In the right-hand side, you also have an organizational pane. So you can actually add and connect other things that you're looking at so you can remain organized. But from here, I can go directly to this link that says Find Contacts. I click Find Contacts and CareerShift takes me to the contacts piece. See, I left jobs, I went to contacts. It automatically entered in this Lockheed Martin right here. And guess what? As I scroll down here, I'm starting to see over 82,000 people that have an affiliation with Lockheed Martin. Now, look at this. I can further filter this in a myriad of ways. So I found a job of interest, right? Maybe it's at Lockheed Martin. And I might say, yeah, but you know what? I'm not an engineer. It just that's not what I am, right? But I could really be a good marketer. And maybe I want to look up people that have marketing roles that are at Lockheed Martin, because I love aerospace technology, right? We don't have to necessarily, we can have roles within companies that don't necessarily, we just have to figure out our interest. So if I click search, I am filtering people that have marketing roles with Lockheed Martin. Now, this is an awesome list. Now you can cross-reference LinkedIn right from here, right from your search results. You can cross-reference LinkedIn as well, because we want you to be avid LinkedIn users. But the fact of the matter is sometimes LinkedIn can be a little scary, and sometimes it can, people don't respond very quickly, those kinds of things. So what CareerShift does is it gives you a little bit more low-hanging fruit to find out more information, phone numbers, email addresses, web references. And when you save a job or save a contact in your CareerShift account, which I can drag and drop again, I can click save for later. This is a good example of a contact card that's been saved in my CareerShift account. So I have all this information, right? And on the right-hand side, I've connected other people that I'm reaching out to in Lockheed Martin because I want to take advantage of kind of getting in through the side door. Sometimes we need some help getting our resumes on top of those files in the HR department. Sometimes people want to take advantage of that referral program. And This is a wonderful opportunity for you to touch base with people with a simple communication. Can you give me 10 minutes of your time so I can find out more about what it's like in your role? A lot of people want to help. You don't necessarily always need to lead with, I'm on the job hunt, right? Or I need an internship. Lead with a curious knowledge, and you'll have a much higher rate of people getting back to you or accepting those kinds of, invitations. So from here, I can say, okay, what else might be helpful? I found a job. I found a contact. Well, golly, I need to know what else Lockheed Martin is hoping to fill, right? Don't we want to be knowledgeable job seekers? So I click company search, and CareerShift takes me to the company piece in the dashboard here. It automatically finds Lockheed Martin for me, and look at this. Now I can click on company jobs. What does CareerShift does? Immediately takes me back to jobs. Enters in Lockheed Martin, and we scroll down. I should have a prize. How many jobs in the last 30 days do you think Lockheed Martin has posted in the United States alone? Let's take a peek. Over 1,600 that are live in the last 30 days. Now, how does this help you? Now, are these entry-level positions? Probably not. Some of them are, but not all of them. But how does that help you? It helps us understand, what the heck does Lockheed Martin call their job titles? That's huge information for all of us, isn't it? Number two, where do those opportunities lie? In the event that you're willing to expand your geographical reach and not just stay in New Jersey, maybe you can investigate what might make sense to you. Maybe you're willing to go to Georgia. Well, guess what? I can go up here and I can further filter this list to Georgia and click the search button. Now I'm like, okay, I could live in Georgia. I like the Atlanta area. Lots of things are going on there. Now, this is the list I want to stay on top of. Well, guess what? By any of the word search results, you can click Save Search. So this is one of the number one things I suggest for you to get the most out of CareerShift. Find a job search that makes sense to you. Save the search. So by any of the word search results, click Save Search. You're asked to name it. So what am I going to name it? I'm going to name it, right? Lockheed, Georgia. I'm going to check this box. Guess what? I'm going to send myself email alerts, maybe on a weekly basis, so I can stay on top of it. I click Save Search, come into my smartphone and email box are the latest opportunities offered through CareerShift, right? But at any time when I'm in my CareerShift account, I can go to jobs. I can go to that subcategory that's called Save Searches. I click on it and bingo, all of my targeted job search strings are going to populate here. Fantastic way to save live dynamic links. So my second second favorite thing to tell you to how to get the most of CareerShift on, because Paige, I know it's coming. It's one of the benefits of going second, right? Is that set up a schedule for yourself to devote to job search. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, but if you stick to a schedule, you're much more likely to get benefits from it. What you can do when you're doing CareerShift is you can go immediately to your saved searches and hit it again, run that search again. It will immediately be updated for you. So you'll see the newest of the new and stay on top of this target search. Now you can always go to your last search too in jobs. So we talked about finding a job, but now let's talk about people, right? What do we know about people? People hire who they like. People hire who they think are nice. People hire who show initiative. How do you show initiative? You go to CareerShift, you create your account, and you start looking for people to connect with. So I'm going to go to contacts and I'm going to click on search. The right-hand side of my screen changed, right? Now look at this. What would be the easiest thing for you to say if you reach someone? Right? It would be the easiest thing to have a conversation with somebody who was an alumnus of Fairleigh Dickinson University, wouldn't it? Because at least you could talk about, like, this is what's going on in campus. This is what I'm doing. Let's look for those folks. I clicked the search button, and just by one click of the button, you have over 17,000 contact information of people that have an affiliation with you. Now you can say, okay, well, golly, this is cool, but I'm going back to my other suggestion, right? But I really am thinking now that maybe I want to go work in Georgia. I can further filter this list for people that live in Georgia that I can also place a call to and say, can you give me 10 minutes of time to talk about your job? And I can let you know what's happening on campus. Perfect opportunity for informational interviews. Now, let me reset. Let me do something else. Let's say that you are, of course, from the business school, you are extremely interested in museums. You know, I mean, just again, my prior point, right? There's all kinds of industry work for us because we're strong business school students. Maybe I want to look for people that are in museums and art galleries that happen to be in New Jersey, because I know I need an internship, and I know that some people don't post internships, but they sure need help, right? So let's click this button and see what we got. We have people. We have people to find out, build our confidence, begin some very easy outreach, and have some opportunities created on our behalf. So in CareerShift, you can look for jobs, you can look for people. If I click manage under contacts, I'm just looking at all of the contacts I chose to save. I can go to my last search. You can save your company searches too. Look, I saved FDU alumni. All I got to do is click it again. You don't have to go through the filters again. Save your searches that are important to you. You can import your own contacts. If you have other contacts, go ahead and import them into your folder system here. You can also export your saved contacts into an Excel spreadsheet if that is more of your cup of tea. But sometimes, don't we just want to look for target companies? What if you're a business student and you say, I am extremely interested in, biotechnology, but more importantly, manufacturing. I want to do something better. I want to create better biological products, and I can use my business acumen and learn in this industry. And maybe I want to see all of these within a radius of 100-mile radius of Fairleigh Dickinson University. Can someone throw out that has their can unmute and throw out the zip code for me?
07666.
Thank you.
But Val, can I just ask you a quick question? On a couple of screens before, there were a lot of contact names with yellow stars next to them. What were those yellow stars?
Those are just the stars that I chose to star for myself.
Okay. So you can do that. If there's somebody like really extra special you want to speak with, you can do that. All right, awesome.
Yep, you want to rate them, you know, they may be a 5-star person. Yep. So if I click the search button now, look at this. These are the manufacturing facilities that are working on products that are biological. This is an incredible way to put together a target company search, because look at this. PTC Therapeutics, right? Not too far, right? South Plainfield. I say that because I know it, because I used to live in Bergen County up by you guys. But look at this. It doesn't matter where you start in CareerShift. You can always link to the rest of the information. I can go directly to company jobs, directly to contacts. So it doesn't matter where you start. You'll always get the rest of the information, and you can search, manage. You can save those searches as well. Biotech product manufacturing, law firms, banking, whatever's interesting to you, you can save. So this is a tool of efficiency. When you have jobs, contacts, right? You've uploaded any documents that you're using, you know, cover letters, resumes. We take it a step further, and you can actually communicate right through CareerShift. You can send an email, and when you do, it becomes a matter of record. So you always know who you send something to, when you sent it, And you can connect all of the information that's important to you again, right? Maybe I just want to add a note and say left message, right? Any note that you have will automatically be time and date stamped. So it's a great way to stay organized, and it's a great way for down the road, because when you land and then you want to come back and kind of dip your toes in the job search again, you're going to have a place where all this good stuff is being stored. And that is a gift to yourself for sure. When you send an email communication, it's placed on your calendar when you sent it and when you wanted to be reminded. You can open it up, you can edit it, you can keep good notes. You can move it forward by date and by time, but guess what? By default, unless you uncheck this box, you're going to receive a self-generated reminder reminding you to do that follow-up work. So CareerShift can help you stay on track. Under settings is where you change your personal information. New email address, like we discussed earlier, new passwords, whatever you'd like. But help. Where do I get help if I get stuck? If I need more help? Right here under help, the bottom of your dashboard. We have tutorials available for you. If you need us, click support, email us, call us, and sign up for live webinars. Come, ask your individual questions. I can't find so-and-so, I need some assistance. We can do that, right? Oftentimes when you log on to your account in CareerShift, you might see this screen pop up. What's new? This kind of takes you through all the new enhancements that we have. So feel free to check that out. So that is CareerShift in a nutshell. We have a few moments to answer any questions you might have. Feel free to chime in. I know that Paige has some.
I have a reputation. Can you just show us a way to do a search with H-1B visas or OPT, CPT?
I'll be happy to. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to go to jobs, right here. I'm going to click on search. All right. Now, remember I told you we have a couple things to open up. Search by area and advanced search. Under advanced search, it says check to filter H-1B visa sponsorships. If you check this box, a little link appears. Do you see it? I uncheck it, it goes away. I check it, it comes. I click on that link and I go directly to the Office of Foreign Labor Certification. This is a table that tells you who has most recently sponsored, where they've sponsored, the visas, the total, the salaries, all this good stuff is here. Now you can search for a company to see if they're on this list, but if they're not, let's say I'm going to go down to Cognizant and I say, oh, this is interesting. I might go to Connecticut. I click on Cognizant. Guess what happens when I click on the company name? It's automatically placed here into the company name. Now remember, this is checked, right? So now we're going to click search. And when we do that, CareerShift is going to look to see if Cognizant is sponsoring. My results are saying no. They don't have anything posted that says they have a, they have something they're willing to sponsor right now. But what do we know? What do we know about companies that have sponsored in the past? They're more likely to sponsor in the future, or they may even have a sponsorship in their back pocket and they're waiting for the right person, right? So if you have a need to be sponsored, this particular search engine in CareerShift becomes a way for you to come up with target companies, right? If they have in the past, they may in the future. So uncheck this box and click search, because now Cognizant is our target company, isn't it? So Cognizant is listed in the company name. We're looking for anything that they have posted. And now we want to do a really good job of trying to reach out to contacts at Cognizant, don't we? Because we know in the past they have sponsored, and they have a higher likelihood of doing it. And that's how you can search for opportunities, other than the fact that you can always search with keywords in the keyword box, right? So you can just do a search using any kind of term, and you're going to find things that are available. But what we're hearing and what we're finding is that in most cases, they're kind of keeping this information to themselves because they're getting inundated. So we go from the paradigm or the outlook that you want to put together target companies of people that are stating and have in the near past. Make sense, Paige?
Yes, thank you. Any
You're
questions?
welcome.
There has to be questions. Yeah, Chris,
Yeah, so,
loud.
sorry, that's okay. So like when you sign up, would you sign up with CareerShift with your personal email or student email?
If you sign up for CareerShift, should you use your student email or your personal email?
I'm not sure whether Fairleigh Dickinson asks you to sign up using your fdu.edu email
I
address.
think we do. I think we do.
I think we do. So I think you have to create it with your school email address, but under settings, once you're logged in, you can change your personal information and you can edit your email address if you prefer to do it another way.
Mary, does anybody in your class have a question? Anybody on Zoom? Write them in the chat. CareerShift is a whole platform that's going to rock your world. So let's ask.
When
Jack, do you have a question? Yep.
I have
go
a
ahead.
question, Paige.
Yes.
When you sign up for CareerShift, it says group or school identifier if provided. Is there a number we have for FDU or it's not?
Val, do you know? I think it's just FDU. Fairleigh Dickinson University. I think it's spelled
Uh-huh.
out.
Yeah, it is. It is the URL. Let me go in the chat and you guys can open it up. The URL is fdu.careershift.com. So that's the link to go to sign up to be a part of your school group. And if the group if you're at a main CareerShift page and you add in FDU, as Paige just said, you will be brought into that group.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you everyone for your kind attention. I hope you learned a few things and a few things that you can be a little bit more proactive with to find people of interest that you can connect. Because in my experience, I remember when my dad dropped me off at college a long time ago, I remember him saying, you know what, people hire who they like. And so be friendly, get out there, practice your communication and be your own unique self and people will help you. People like to help.
Paige, you're muted.
I'm having technical problems. Val, thank you. Great advice. And last chance for any questions. Okay. Thank you, Val. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay. Silberman students, stay on, please. All right. Anybody have any questions or comments? All right. Well, this was a great way to spend a Monday. Missy has a couple of things to share with all of you, so please give her your attention.
Yep. So if you guys want to scan for suitable points here, you can. And we're giving away anybody who does scan, one person will win. Yeah, that's it. scan for suitable points.
Can you show what people are gonna win? What
Sure.
what one person will win, please?
I'm too far away.
Come on.
Can you still see me?
We have
Come on.
a big class. There, everybody's moving closer. Don't take it away yet, please. Here's the good news. This is the first of, I don't know, 20 programs we're doing this semester. So you guys got to see it first here. Everybody have it? You taking my picture or you scanning
No, I'm
suitable?
trying to scan.
All right, go ahead. Whoopsies. Okay. Oh, we lost it. Can you put it back up?
Sorry, my Zoom crashed.
I know, sorry. Thank you.
It's coming.
It's coming back up. Thanks, Missy.
Mhm.
All right, go ahead. Just be careful, watch more.
Oh.
Yeah, you're good, you're good. All right, hold on. Everybody has it? Daniel, did you get it?
Yeah.
Did you get it? All right, come closer. All right, we have one more coming closer.
Okay.
All right, thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.